Hello friends, in last class part 1 we have seen some basics related to points sleepers in points and crossing. In today's class, points and crossing in part 2 we see some more basic concepts which are very confusing. So we'll discuss concepts like what is switch and what is point, what is crossing, what is lead portion, what is facing and trailing point, connecting curve. So these are very important concepts and these are very confusing. So we should understand this thoroughly for going further, right? So first point is what switch. What is switch? Basically it is tongue rail plus stock rail, right? Tongue rail plus stock rail. So if you see this diagram, so on LS side you have one tongue rail, one stalk rail, and RS side you have one tongue rail and one stalk rail, right? So this tongue rail and stalk rail together is called a switch. So this is LH switch, this is LH switch, and this is RH switch, right? So in a point, LH tongue rail plus stalk rail is called LH switch. In a point, RH tongue rail plus stalk rail on RS side is called RH switch. Okay, you can see this from the diagram. Okay, so you got some idea about switch. Now let us understand point. What is point? Okay, two tongue rails plus two stalk rails and all fastenings connected together, right? So it is called a point. So means what? You have LH switch plus you also have RH switch. Okay. So these two combined together along with all fastenings connected, it is called as a point. So this LH stock rail, LH tongue rail, RH stock rail, RH tongue rail, and all its fastenings connected together. Okay, that is called as a point. Alright. So you got some idea about switch. You also got some idea about point, right? So next, let us understand. So this is a tongue rail. You can see here, and whatever gap is there between tongue rail and stalk rail, this gap is called what? Throw off switch. This gap is called what? Throw off switch. Okay. So this gap is called throw off switch. Throw off switch. Okay. That gap is called what? Throw off switch. Right. Next, you have heel block, heel of switch, heel of divergence. So these things you have to understand. Okay. So what is heel block? It is the first block from toe of switch. It is the first block from toe of switch. So if you see this diagram, so this end is called actual toe of switch. This end is called what? Actual toe of switch. So if you go from here, the first block which you see, the first block which you see between stalk rail and tongue rail, that is called what? Heel block. Okay, the first block from two of switch is called heel block. So this is clear. Next, heel of switch. So you see this diagram, you have a tongue rail tip here. So this is called actual toe of switch, ATS, actual toe of switch. This location is called actual toe of switch. So from here, okay, from here to, so you can find out the heel block here, right? So the first block you can see here, the first block which you can see here, so this is called heel of switch. Heel of switch, this is called what? Heel of switch. You can see here heel of switch. So toe of switch means, actual toe of switch means the location of tip of tongue rail, and heel of switch means the center line of heel block. Okay, that is called, that location is called heel of switch. So you know toe of switch, you know heel of switch. Now next one, heel divergence. Heel divergence means what? Let us understand. So at a heel block, so you have a track like this and you have a track like this. So one track going like this and one track going like this, and you have a heel block like this. right? And this is the center line of this block, right? So this is called heel of switch, heel of switch. Okay, so this location is called heel of switch, right? So now at this location, what is the distance from gauge face to gauge face? What is the distance? That distance is called heel divergence. Okay, that distance is called heel divergence. Distance between gauge face of stalk rail and gauge face of tongue rail at a heel is called heel divergence. Right? How much it is diverged? Okay, that, so see here, this is one track like this going, and this is another track going like this. So from gauge face to gauge face distance at heel block, that distance is called what? Heel divergence. Okay, so these things you have discussed. So if you see here, SRJ means what? Stock rail joint. Theoretical toe of switch, actual toe of switch is here, right? And here you have heel block and heel divergence, right? So toe of switch, this is called heel of switch. This location is called what? Heel of switch, right? So up to here we have seen. So what all things we have covered? Switch related. What is switch? What is point? What is heel block? What is heel divergence? What is heel of switch? What is toe of switch? Those things we have seen. Now let us understand next concept, crossing, right? So before that, so from the distance from heel of switch to actual toe of switch, so that distance is called what? Switch length. SWITCH, switch length. So that distance is called what? Switch length. So this distance is called switch length, right? So now let us see next concept, crossing. So you can see here you have, this is a CMS crossing, and here you have one joint here, and you also have one more joint here. The straight distance from here to here, okay, that distance is what? Crossing portion, right? And see the portion towards switch, that portion is, that location, this is called toe of crossing, this is called heel of crossing. So here you have 6 bolts and fish plate, here also you have 6 bolts and fish plate, right? And so this is a heel of crossing, so you can see the field picture. So this is called toe of crossing, and joint here is called heel of crossing, right? And this is called crossing length, right? And see, these are wing rail, this is one wing rail, this is one wing rail, right? So this is called nose, actual nose of crossing, actual nose of crossing. See that smallest gap between the wing rail, this is called what? Throat, throat of crossing, this is called throat of crossing. And this is heel of crossing, this is toe of crossing, right? So you got some idea about crossing also. Next, so next one is lead portion. Lead portion you have to understand. Okay, if you see this diagram, see from heel of switch, so this is heel of switch to nose of crossing. Okay, this portion, okay, this portion is called what? Lead portion, lead portion. So if you see here, the portion from heel of switch to heel of crossing, that portion is called what? Lead portion. So if you see here, so you have a point like this. This is a motor, right? So from toe to switch, toe of switch to heel of switch is switch portion. From heel of switch to what? Toe of crossing. This portion is called what? Lead portion. And from toe of crossing to heel of crossing, this portion is called what? Crossing portion. So these portions are very clear to you, right? So you can see diagram also. See, so from here to heel block is switch portion. From here to toe of crossing is lead portion, and from toe of crossing to heel of crossing is a crossing portion. And if you see this diagram, you from toe of switch, you have a rail, tongue rail going in a curved manner like this. Okay, you have a tongue rail going like this from toe of switch to toe of crossing. Okay, that is called lead curve. Okay, that portion is called what? Lead curve. The curve from toe of switch to toe of crossing is called lead curve. So this curved portion of tongue rail is called lead curve. Okay, that you have to remember. Next, so turnout. You have seen point, you have seen lead portion, you have seen crossing portion, and this all together is called what? Turnout. All together is called what? Turnout. Right. Next, you should understand LH turnout and RH turnout. Okay. So from this direction, from motor, you stand and see toward this, and this track is going towards LH side. Okay. So this is facing, and from back side if you are seeing, this is trailing. This is facing, this is trailing. So from facing direction if you see, and track was diverting towards LH side, then it is called what? LH turnout. Okay, suppose from facing direction if you see and track was going like this towards right hand side, then it is called what? RH turnout. LH turnout, RH turnout. So you can see here. Next, so see, from you are standing here and seeing in this direction, and okay, this track is going like this towards your left hand side, so it is called LH turnout. Right. So what is turnout? Point plus lead portion plus cross, this all together is called as a turnout. And in turnout you have LH turnout and RH turnout. To understand that, you should stand in facing direction, and if it is going towards LH it is LH turnout, and if it is going towards RH it is RH turnout. So this is one thing. So you can see some field figures here. So this is a motor, and see this is a tongue rail, and which is curved in nature. Okay, that is a lead curve. Right. So see, this is tip of tongue rail, tip of tongue rail, throw of switch, and here you have actual toe of switch, actual toe of switch, ATS. Right. So see this, you can clearly see the curve. Right. So it is a beginning from toe of switch to up to toe of crossing. So it is a lead curve. Right. You can see this diagram. This is a lead curve. Hmm? Okay. Now next one is connecting curve and turn in curve. Right. After last long sleeper of crossing, okay, the track was provided to connect to the adjacent track. The track may be curving in a direction same direction like lead curve, it is called connecting curve. Opposite direction to lead curve, it is called turning curve. So let us understand this. See, this is a lead curve. I just now I have showed you, this is a lead curve, and this is the last long sleeper of the crossing, last long sleeper of the crossing. Now after this, see, our lead curve is in this direction and blue color, this is the curve which is same like lead curve. And if curve is like this same like lead curve, then it is called connecting curve. Suppose after last long sleeper, if it is in opposite direction, this blue color you see, so this black color is in one curvature and this blue color is in another curvature, and both are in opposite nature, so this is called turn in curve. So same direction it is connecting curve, and opposite direction it is called turn in curve. So this is the last sleeper, last longest sleeper of the crossing. From there whatever curve you are there, that is in same direction connecting, and in opposite direction it is turn in curve. So that is one more concept. So I hope all this was covered clearly, facing, turn in curve, connecting curve, and this last two concepts. So you have see similar flexure and uh, contrary flexure. So see, this is a main line, black color, and whatever point is there which is which has curvature same like main line, this is a similar flexure, and it has opposite. Okay, you can see this arrow mark like this. So here both are in same same curvature, it is called a similar flexure, and both are in opposite way, it is called a contrary flexure. Symmetrical split, next one. So see this one, same straight track splitted into symmetrical tracks like this, which has same radius. Okay, straight track split into two different directions with equal radius. Right. So such track is called what? Symmetrically splitted track. Okay, so these are few concepts which is very important to understand further about points and crossing, and I hope it is clear to you. Okay friends, thank you all. Please do subscribe and don't